Phil Politziner is the chairman of Amper, Politziner and Mattia, one of the largest regional accounting firms in the New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania tri-state area. Ranked by Crain's as one of the largest accounting firms in the New York regional area, Amper, Politziner and Mattia bills more than $120 million annually and has grown to more than 600 employees. A member of GoodAccountantscom since November 2006, Chairman Phil Politziner sat down with GA Access to discuss his firm's vast array of accounting services as well as its storied 45-year history.
We started the firm in August of 1965. A long time ago. We started in what was a converted bi-level house. We were downstairs. In my mind, we were in the basement. It wasn't a place you wanted to be. We had nothing to do. So we started out, one of my partners, Monroe, Amper, he worked 3 days a week for a trucking company doing accounting work. I worked 4 days a week doing per diem work for other accountants in New York and New Jersey, because they also had nothing to do. And the third partner was Al Mattia. Al stayed where he was employed because there was no reason for the three of us to starve. Our growth was really very slow, probably the first 15 years. It was tough. And like many of your companies out there, you struggle at the beginning. Not easy. But we really did finally move along. And what was nice is we started to attract just an incredible amount of talent to join our firm. People had a real entrepreneurial spirit. We have approximately 600 people, and our volume now will be about $120 million. I first came in contact with GoodAccountantscom when they called me with a client referral. And this was a company in North Jersey. It was a seafood company, actually one of the largest in the world, and they did about $300 million, and we ended up meeting them at their location. Well, I think GoodAccountantscom certainly provides a value that's necessary because people may not know where do they go. They need an accountant. It's really personal, it's private. How do you find somebody that you can trust? How do you find somebody who's well respected? And I think that's one of the advantages organizations have in calling GoodAccountants.com, because they've done their due diligence, they've done their homework. Well, the audit part of our practice is the largest segment of Amper, Politziner and Mattia. We're called in to do audits of so many private companies, which is the largest part, public companies, and because we are so quality driven, I think we're known as a very, very good quality firm. We've gone through peer review, we've gone through SEC peer review. People are very comfortable in selecting Amper to do their audits. We represent small private companies, middle market private companies, family-owned businesses, large corporations, and companies backed by venture capitalists, and also private equity funds. We do both the audit work and tax work for these companies, and we perform many other services for publicly held companies. We have over 100 people just in our tax department. We do domestic taxes, which most people understand well. We have a group that only does international taxes. Well, we have people here who have worked for insurance companies, and also people here who work for accounting firms where they just concentrate on insurance companies. We have people who only concentrate on state and local issues. People only concentrate, let's say, on sales tax issues. IRS controversy, we have people who concentrate in that area. We do tax provisions for some of the larger companies in this country, publicly held, because the external auditor can't do that. They have a conflict. So we get called in on that. often and regularly in the filming industry. We do film tax credits. We're called in often to do some forensic accounting. I think that the quality of the services that the Big Four give are outstanding, in particular to some of the really giant companies, because that's really where most of their fees are, and I think they do that very, very well. I think that, and that's where they concentrate on, and if I were running a Big Four firm, I also would concentrate on the giant firms, because I certainly would not want to lose one of those companies where fees are enormous. If I had to take a chance of losing something, if I were a Big Four, I'd take a chance of losing somebody whose fees are $100,000 or $200,000, as opposed to $10 million and $6 million and $2 million and $20 million. From our standpoint, a lot of our people have come from the Big Four, so we understand their model, and we are very, very entrepreneurial, very service-oriented, and apparently we must do an exceptionally good job in that area, because to show you the growth that we've had, and it's been organic, since no one really has grown organically 25% a year, 2 years in a row like we have, our service must be extraordinary. Recently, just turned around a hospital in New Jersey called St. Mary's. That is the first hospital in the state of New Jersey that has ever come out of bankruptcy. We had a couple of different departments in our firm involved in this. We had our bankruptcy and turnaround department involved, it's really turnaround, and we had our healthcare group involved, both of which were really important because their backgrounds were necessary. First day we went up there, we started to try to get our arms around this, and we realized that they were going to struggle to meet the next payroll. What do you do in these situations? Well, made sure payroll got met, and little by little we started to see what was going on there. We had a number of meetings with key people in the hospital, and what we did is we started to get control of some of the inventory in the hospital, supplies, etc. And we learned, as happens in so many organizations, there's duplication, triplication. The same items exist all over. Well, you don't have to keep buying when you have it in the hospital, but it's just in a different area. We spent an enormous amount of time. We had people there every single week. And basically, we just took it as a business and say, all right, what do we have to cut? And unfortunately, in these types of things, you have to make significant cuts. But we had to say, if you're going to bring in revenue of X, you can only spend Y. And you can't do it overnight. It takes a year or a year and a half, because you have to be kind to people, but you also have to say, this thing has to exist. So little by little, we did that. We couldn't have done it without the great help from the key people at the hospital, because nobody can do anything on their own. But there was a great sense of trust, a great sense of comfort that we will take you through this. Let's work together. We'll do it. And it happened, and I think it's great for the state that they were able to show this, and it was great for the community. If you think things are great, they really are. If you think things are lousy, they are. Nobody can sit and tell somebody how they have to think, but it's your attitude. How do you look at areas? How do you look at opportunities? How do you look at challenges? Life is nothing more than an attitude.